Okay, so let's finish out what we did last time. It did stop on me. So the internet was not good. So I will just finish it up because we were talking about the the older adults raising children today, and why that, along with cultural differences, really makes me pause before I give advice because it's taken differently from different cultures, it's taken differently from different age groups, and from different views of the spectrum. If you were raised authoritarian, you may hear my words differently than a person who was raised very liberal. And in any place in the spectrum, it can really be confusing to try to give advice. And I'm still going to try, but I may have to be a little more. I don't know if this is going to help or not, but I may have to be a little bit more careful with how I say it. Maybe use a lot more words to describe, and maybe start using examples. And here is another thing. I was talking to my sister who had 4 children, and she reminded me of something I've been wanting to say. Each child themselves, there is no formula for how to raise children to be good. And not just good, the code word for Christianity is how to have faith, how to accept the graces that God gives us. But you know what I mean, to obey God. And not one particular way is going to be perfect for every child. And so, even in the same household, you could you could raise 4 children in the same household in the exact same way, and all 4 of them will turn out differently. And they'll say, "Oh, mother was so authoritarian," or "Mother was so sweet." Two siblings will say that same thing about their mother. So it's really difficult to know. You have to study your children. You have to, and you can only do so much. And really, really, it's just raise your children with mercy. The God says that He is going to um, show you the same mercy that you give out. And so raise your children with mercy, teach them to be merciful, teach them to think as well as they possibly can about other people. And if you forgive them when they're children, and you talk about forgiveness and you show them forgiveness, they will turn and they'll forgive you. And that's not a formula that you can 100% guarantee, because some people there are different personalities that access information, process information differently. And they are all the time in the same family. So what worked with your first child may not work with your last child, and they may end up you know, seeing a wildly different childhood than what you saw. And that's going to be true for a lot of parenting anyway. For all of your children, they're going to be they're going to filter their childhood, and they'll remember certain things. I'm editing right now some of my old family videos. And even parents will edit out children's childhoods. And, so if you can take some videos, then later on, after they're grown, go back and watch those videos. You will be humbled that you didn't do things as well as you thought you did. or you will be pleasant, and at the same time, you could be pleasantly surprised. Hey, I wasn't near as bad as I thought I was. So, and your children, it will actually help your children to have a more correct view of your childhood, because there are children that are going to say, "Oh, mom and dad, you were always, always, always arguing," and then you have videos to show them that um, no, they're gonna be reminded, no, mom and dad didn't really fight that much, or oh, mom and dad, it was so perfect, it was just so perfect, and then you look at the videos and you go, oh, maybe it wasn't as perfect as I thought. And and you can of course forgive it, because let me tell you something about videos from the 1980s and 90s. Before that, when I was young, they had the what is it called? The 8 millimeter, the big reels. And this was something you didn't do very often at all. It was a big, huge deal to take. First of all, there was no audio. All you could take was video, and they'd have these super bright lights, and so it was a massive ordeal to um, to take a video of your family. And then to show it to your family, you had to go get this big screen that you pulled down, and you'd all sit around like going to the movies, and you turn on this big huge video camera that would project it, the projector, and that would project it onto this big screen. And half the time there would be all this, the you'd have to feed it in perfect the film perfectly, and you could burn it out. It would stop. It was an ordeal to watch a family video, and that was before 19, I think, what, 70s or something. And then the camera started coming out, and it was a mess at first. And my point with saying this is, people were not used to being videoed. This was something very new. And just like when the iPhone is, your kids go crazy when they're on the iPhone. There's, but okay, I'm gonna take that back. When people were first being videoed, it was such an interesting new thing that your children and your family all acted ridiculous, because you didn't, there was nothing natural about how you reacted. The dad or whoever did the video camera had to make sure it was not seen, to get any really natural ways that people acted and behaved. So I have got uh, about 60 hours of my children being silly and acting awkward on our home videos, and putting their fingers up their noses and laughing hysterically, and so anyway, and so I don't want my children to think that's normal. And so when you get, but in today's world, you can actually get some, kids are so used to being videoed that you can get some more natural videos, and you can actually have like a documentary of what your home was really more like than anything in the past, because the kids are used to being on video. So anyway, and of course they're going to always, everybody, the minute the camera's on people, they're going to act some awkward in some way. So, but that's really good to have it documented, so that your children can have, when they get to be adults, they can have a better idea of what their childhood was really like. So I think I've rambled on enough, and I just want to stop it here. And God bless you. And I'm going to try. I want to be really careful, and so I may not do the Titus 2:4 as much as I want to, but I'm trying to see today how to give advice to women today, and that would be different than what I would have given when my children were younger. Well, God bless. You guys have a nice day. And mothering is the best thing in the world. It is the best thing. We need to honor mothers. Bring back, mothering. Make motherhood great again. All right. God bless.